Hello, active and attractive family. How are you guys doing today? I hope you guys are doing well. I am so looking forward to our conversation today. Guys, we have about 20 new members in our community right now, and I'm low-key freaking out about this because guys, I read the answers to the questions, the membership questions that you guys wrote, and every single one of you guys responded. My favorite thing is reading these questions because I get to see where you're at in your health journey and also where you're at in your leadership journey. So as you guys know, and now that you guys, you guys who are new, you'll find out what we do here inside of the active and attractive community is we try to combine who you are as a leader and partner that with your health. And the reason this is so important is because when you're leading in a healthy way, that means you're able to go out and do more. Lisa's here. Hi. You're able to go out and do more, be more, feel better, feel stronger, take on more opportunity, take on more experiences, really look at life as this thing that's like, I am out here to get it because I know I'm called to something big. Hi, I'm working and watching perfectly, so I'll just speak sweet nothings into your ear while you work. This community is recognizing that you're a visionary. You're a big dog. You're somebody who wants to create power around helping other people, and you want to see other people win. But the biggest thing that we do as leaders is we tend to leave ourselves on the back burner. We put ourselves last. We know that we've got ourselves, but we've got ourselves after we got everything else. And we'll do this thing, Lindy, hello. We'll do this thing where we know that we're worth it, but not worth it enough to actually do something. And so my commitment to us here in the community is to have the important conversations around who we are as a people and then what we do to take care of ourselves in order to inspire an action where you are finding your best, most healthiest life. So, hey, hello, guys. I'm so excited about today because you ladies, you two that are here right now, I know that you know what we've been talking about. We've been having to basically pull backwards to have a really powerful conversation about self so that then we could stack on what we're going to be talking about today, which is health. So those of you guys who are new, I want to welcome you into our community. Ladies, seriously, this is a very special place to me. And I think the women, especially you guys who are here, you know, everyone has been so engaged and so involved and is so eager to help transform themselves. And what I love seeing about that is that we haven't even gotten to the good stuff, which is, in my opinion, health, because we've been really spending a lot of time on identity. Now, identity work can seem woo-woo or it can seem vast. And what I like to do with Brandy, hi, what I like to do with identity is address the fact that I noticed as a fitness coach, my clients who were successful easily and the ones who seemed to struggle, they had the intention to do a good job. They wanted to feel better, but there was this thing that happened that they couldn't really get there. And if they got there, it was this really strong uphill battle. And I was like, why do I have clients who just seem like they're smoothing through? And even if they take longer to get their results, they still are on it. Like they're still in it. They're still in it to win it. And the difference I saw between the two groups is that the people who really were in it, no matter what things looked like, had a very strong sense of identity. Bring on the woo, baby. Thank you. Because this is my heart. I'm a woo girl at the end of the day, whether I say it or not. I'm a woo person, but you know, I love science. So you guys are going to see a lot of that today. So identity is the foundation in my eyes for us, not just finding what it is that we like to do in terms of our health, our fitness, the food that we eat, the way that we rest, the way that we show up in the world, the way we communicate, the way we talk, the way we make decisions. Like when we know who we are, we get to be healthy, even grander than just our physical health. We get to have social health, meaning we're in healthy relationships. We're surrounding ourselves with people who challenge us and grow us, but don't break us down. And we get to have occupational health. We're doing business in a way that feels good for us, in an industry that feels aligned to us. We have mental health and emotional health and spiritual health and financial health. All of these other areas of health play into how well you know yourself. So the last 2 months, we've been talking about world building. Looking at your vision and what you want to bring to this earth, and also saying, hey, I know that in order for me to bring purpose to the planet, I first have to take care of my own world and feed myself and give back to myself. So what we're doing now that we've had a strong sense of identity, you guys have just touched the surface, but you guys have touched in on the concepts of identity. I want to do a brief run through, making lunch for the kids, but still listening. Perfect, Lindy. We want to look at the 3 pillars of leadership. For those of you guys who are new, and definitely for those of you guys who've been tuning in, you are a leader and you are meant to do great things. And what we have mapped out together is that there are 3 pillars that are going to help support you and make you a really strong leader in a way that feels effortless. Those 3 pillars are your presence, your willingness to be visible, and your impact that you create. When you develop a strong presence, a knowing of yourself, you emit this energy, this presence, this idea, this aura that other people feel, and they're like, what is she about? I feel like she knows something. I want to get to know her. I want to talk to her. I feel like she looks this way. She looks strong. She looks confident. She looks fun. She looks hilarious. Your presence is the part of you that speaks before you ever open your mouth. And in my eyes, true leaders start working their magic the moment they walk into a room. As a leader, you are an atmosphere changer. You change the atmosphere just by you being in the space. So whether you step into a family, whether you step into your home, whether you step into a community, whether you step into a culture or a country, wherever your feet are planted, you are valuable. And you know this when you know your identity. Now, your presence carries your identity, and it allows you, when you really know yourself and you're radiating really large, you're like, oh, I kind of like me. This is a really big place to get women to, is a place of I like me. This is what we're all seeking for, is self-love, self-appreciation, self-this, self-that. All the self-care practices we talk about is ultimately us trying to say, I want to be able to say, I like me. I'm valuable. I know what I bring to the table. I know that everywhere I stand is valuable. I know me and I like it. This is something that when you fall in love, anything we fall in love with, we're like, oh, I want you to know about this. I want you to see me. I want you to see what I can do for you. I want you to see what it is that I have to say. I want you to see the wisdom that I can bring to this conversation. I want you to see. Visibility is our willingness to be seen. I know people out there who know themselves pretty well, but their aura, their atmosphere shrinks and diminishes in certain situations. And so the ideal goal is that we are visible everywhere we go. Sometimes we're really good with one-on-one interactions, and then when we get in front of a crowd, we're like, ooh, I forgot myself. I forgot everything that I bring to the table. I forgot what it is that I'm supposed to say. I forgot. When we get into large groups, maybe we're really good, and then someone pins us in the corner of a party and they ask us to talk one-on-one, and you're like, I don't like this. Maybe you're not really good with like one-on-one intimate interactions. You might be really good with your family, and then you get around strangers and you're like, or the other way around, you might be really awesome with strangers, and then you get to a loved one who really wants to have a vulnerable conversation, and you're like, I don't want that, right? Santandra, hi. Like, there's so many different places where we diminish our visibility, and what we haven't done is we haven't figured out where our identity goes in place. So we want to get so familiar with ourselves that then we know where we go and how we're supposed to function in every scenario that's presented to us. When we can define a blueprint for where we belong and how we've decided that we want to show up in those contexts, we are willing to be as visible as we feel confident in being. And that is so important as a leader. Now, from visibility, when you feel safe to go anywhere, everywhere, do anything, do everything, this is where you begin to start to create impact. When you're on a roll and nothing is getting in your way, people show up and they try to toss you off and tell you who you're not. People show up and they try to point you in a different direction that's not your path. People show up in uncomfortable situations and you're like, I can still be visible here. When you have the capacity to be this in all places, be you and everywhere you go, this is where you create impact, because the gifts that you have inside of you get to touch the people they're meant for. So impact is the third pillar, because when you reach the point of creating impact everywhere you go, ladies, I want you to imagine a world where each and every single one of you guys, each and every single person you know, has some type of influence and it's effective. This is leadership. This is leadership. Now, what we're doing inside of these conversations, excuse me, I get really excited and my stomach says, ooh, and then I have to release a little air. Excuse me. So what we're doing inside of these conversations is we're just stirring up the pot. I've got months worth of conversations to have with you guys because I want us to walk around in 2024 with the intention of being fully ourselves. I know that Santanja has really big goals to become a motivational speaker. Brandy has really big goals to help women in their intimacy with their partner and their long-term relationships. Lindy has goals to find a home and be with her family and just really start finding a way to start writing books and sharing her message. Lisa has a mission to bring women to a power of strength through the clothing that they wear and spreading a message that all women are strong. Every one of you guys have a very powerful vision for the world, and you know that what you carry is great. But we want to set you up in a way that you feel so sturdy in your 4 quadrants, your home, your body, your relationships, and the back end of your business, that you feel confident to step out when things don't look right as you're starting to lead. So what I want to talk to you guys about today is we're still under the umbrella of the first pillar, which is the presence pillar. And inside of each pillar, there are 2 components that make up that pillar that if you can master both, you're going to accentuate that pillar and live it to the fullest. If you can live each pillar to the fullest, what ends up happening is that your impact is so powerful that you're able to not just touch one person deeply, you're also to touch many people at the same time. So we want to go deep and wide, right? We want to go down to the hearts of people, create a transformation within, and then we want to get our message to spread and add that depth to as many people as who comes in contact with us. So with that, we want to make sure we're solid in each pillar, but each pillar comprises of 2 components. And so last month in December, we wrapped up the conversation around presence and the identity portion. And if you missed out on the 3 days of world building, 3 days of world building is where we found the blueprint of your identity. We found the creative experience that pulled out your identity in a way that was so fun and allows you to now be able to walk around as if you feel like you are your own world. If you would like access to this experience, I would love to invite you because we're going to be running this program again starting Monday. And this Monday, we're going to dive in through the same process for people who haven't touched it yet. If you guys have already done it and you want to do it again, I'd love for you guys to join. It's still free and the experience takes 3 days. So once you master your identity and you anchor into the identity, it's one thing to know who you are, but if you're not nurturing the elements of you, if you're not feeding into yourself and nourishing yourself, you're not going to be able to fully radiate. So identity is the first component of your presence, but the way to amplify your identity is by tying in health. Identity and health go hand in hand. Ladies, what I want to hear from you guys here in the comments is, what would you say your definition of health is? I would just love to hear what you believe health is. And let's just start the chat. Let's get the chat rolling like we do. And I want to hear your version of what health is. I think everyone has a slightly different spin on health, but I think the core is the same. And I want to see what you guys think health is. And if you're catching this on the replay, I'd love to see your answer too. What is your definition of health? I think this is a fun question because it's also a very taboo conversation. There's a lot of controversy in the health industry. There's a lot of opinions in the health world. There's a lot of avenues you could take in order to be considered healthy. There's a lot of perspectives on what healthy even is. What is your definition of health? Lisa said physical health, mental health and spiritual health. I love that. That to me, I hear body, mind, and spirit. And I'm taking from that you see it as a very comprehensive approach to how we are able to take care of ourselves. It's not just physical. And this is something I deeply agree with, because it's taken me a very long time as a fitness coach to come out and just say, hey, I've got more to say than just counting your push-ups and teaching you about macros. Healthy lifestyle, it bleeds into our lifestyle. When we're healthy mentally, it allows us to be physically healthy. And when we have an attunement to our spirit and we are able to align with that, we are also healthy. So then when we're operating in that triune, what happens is we feel whole in all areas of our life. And I really resonate with that, Lisa. It's very cool. So for me, health, the general word health, means you being aligned to what's you. Health in my mind is you being aligned to what's you. Health is you not doing what other people do. Health is you stepping into yourself and saying, what do I want right now? What do I want to do right now? What do I feel called to do right now? What feels exciting to me right now? What feels easy for me right now? What do I want right now? Ladies, I went to Texas A&M University, Gigamags, whoop, and I stayed there for about 7 years learning exercise physiology. Our body is so freaking cool. Our body is so freaking cool. Consistency in my life. St. Tanja, I put that in the same arena. It's like we're consistently pursuing ourselves, consistently reaching for what we know we need, consistently reaching for what we want. It is so much easier to stay consistent in health when our health goals are aligned to what we want. I studied the human body so far as to get my master's degree. I taught group exercise classes, yoga classes, spin classes, strength training classes. I loved it so much that I got involved with research laboratories. I taught so many Zumba classes, I couldn't even tell you. Hundreds of people I taught Zumba to. I decided to go ahead and get my master's degree. That led me to actually working very closely in multiple research laboratories. So I studied the body down to the cellular level, up to the application levels, worked with the company Curves to help them do research for their programs and processes. And then I ended up teaching undergraduates, and so I ended up grading and creating curriculum for students to be able to learn about the power of health and how it applies to our lifestyles. I've seen health in all of the different ways: sports psychology, sports physiology. I've seen clinical physiology. I worked in a physical therapy clinic for multiple years. I've seen health in every angle that you could see health. And my favorite part is that our body is so freaking cool. Your body is the smartest technology that's ever designed. It's the smartest technology that's ever been designed. It is so well designed that the only thing it cares about is you. Every sensation you experience in your body is your body talking to you. And as I left grad school and I stepped into the personal training space, I ended up getting a job at a really incredible gym, high-end gym, high-paying clients, learned a lot about myself and the elite. And what I found was that very ambitious people who create magnificent things still have a struggle with relating to their body. I had CEOs, lawyers, doctors, physicians, all kinds of people crawling around on the floor, sweating into the ground, struggling and wishing they weren't there. And it was all to teach them about their health. It's incredible to see how people relate to their bodies, because there feels like there's this thing that says, my body's something separate. It's like this other thing. It's this thing that I've got to take care of, and I got to put food in it, and I got to feed it coffee, and it's tired all the time, and blah, 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 blah. And it feels like this thing that's just a thing. But what I've learned over time is that when we look at health as an alignment to what it is that we want, not just in our physique, not just losing weight, but in what we want in our life. To be more passionate, to be more motivated, to be more consistent, to be greater, to be smarter, to be stronger, to be more fun, to take things less seriously, to really reach for the stars, to have more money, to find deeper relationships, to get married, to all of these things that we want. When we align to what it is that we want, you would be amazed at how much your body will follow. Health is an alignment to what it is that you want. And this was the difference between my clients who had success and the clients who really struggled with their success and didn't quite make it. It was that the people with their identity knew what they wanted. And so health felt easy for them. They had the why behind their action, and nothing can stop them, even slow results. Ladies, what I want to talk to you about today is just, what is health? What is it? Because when you can value your identity and say, I am who I am, I am who I am, and then say, I am who I am, which I like so much, that I want to put health on top of it. And I want to let that radiate me out to being bigger and better. This is where health becomes a wind in your sails versus this thing that's just dragging you down that you have to do. It's obligation that you're like, ugh, got to. Health is knowing and understanding how you tie in to you. And so today, I want to share with you about the body. And guys, when I talk about physiology, because I am a very big science nerd, I could go on for days. I could talk to you about muscular strength, muscular health, the nervous system, the cardiovascular system, disease. Oh my God, disease gets me so excited. How exercise impacts disease, how nutrition impacts disease, how we can see a shift in our physiology based on what we can do. But what I've discovered is that what we can do is about 10% of what actually gets us to the goals that we have. The physiology, the science, the doing is about 10% of what will get us to the place that we want to be. It's in recognizing who you are, taking actions that are only aligned with what feel right for you, stepping into a place of honor for yourself and what you need, and following that with the lightest heart that you can find. That pushes you further down your journey than counting macros and eating the right foods and running the miles and stressing yourself out will ever do. Lindy says, this is speaking to me. With all the physical struggles I've been dealing with over the past year or two, I realized that I was viewing my body as a separate thing. I felt victimized by my body, but that was hurting me. I began to realize I needed to give my body actual love, to care for it, because my body is not my enemy. Ladies, when I sleep and I wake up at 6 a.m. as I do, and I'm kind of stressed out because I don't really want to be up, but my hormones kind of have me on this early schedule, and I could just probably start working. The times that I've weighed myself at that point in time versus when I go back to sleep and sleep for a few more hours and wake up like a little Disney princess. I feel rested. It's in a line, like I feel right. When I weigh myself on a scale from the first time I wake up to the second time I wake up, I'm literally anywhere from 2 to 3 pounds lighter. Every single time. Every single time. What it's taught me is that my body's response to stress is producing a visual, an external result in my body. And this is something that a lot of people may have a hard time ingesting. You might have a hard time hearing this, but here's how I see our physique. What you see on your body tends, not always, tends to be a physical manifestation of some thoughts, things, and emotions and beliefs that you have about yourself and the world. The physical manifestation that you see on your body tends to be a manifestation of the thoughts, feelings, and beliefs that you have about yourself and the world. This one, ladies, so hard to hear. So hard to hear because it's like what Lindy said. A lot of times it's like I felt victimized. Just feel victimized. Guys, my clients who have seen some of the fastest results are the ones who just walked for 90 days straight and cleaned up their diet by like 1 or 2 foods. Didn't even change that much. But the mindset that they developed to become trustworthy enough to themselves, where they knew that they would show up. They knew they would take the lap. They knew that no matter what things looked like, they would get up and show up and then experience the feeling of completion. That feeling of, I did it. I did it again, and I did it again. I did it when it was hard. I did it whenever it was raining. I did it when it was uncomfortable. I did it when I was tight. I did it when I felt a pain. I did it anyways. I did it. I showed up. Oh my God, can I trust myself? The transformation in health that happened for these clients who simply walked and maybe just ate a little bit more breakfast in the morning. These clients dropped weight like this because it wasn't just the action that they were doing. It was the relationship with themselves and their identity that they were confirming. Ladies, nutrition, fitness, sleep, all of the habits that we can clean up in our health, our physical health, those things show up in other areas of our life. If you have a hard time staying consistent with exercise, it's most likely that you have a hard time staying consistent in areas in your business, in relationships, and taking care of your home and all the other quadrants of your life. And when we recognize that fitness, the healthy habit, gets to be an activity where we train our character to become a better version of ourselves, what happens is we show up differently. We see ourselves differently because our character is developed. And that, I know I can take on that new project. I know I can go live on Facebook 90 days in a row, even when it's uncomfortable. I trust myself to show up for my clients in a bigger and better way. I trust myself to be more visible and share my voice and my words. I trust myself to be consistent because if I can be consistent in fitness, I can be consistent here. That stress relief, that relief of, not only do I like myself, but I can trust myself. The excess weight that we hold on to, the excess stress and pain we have in our shoulders, those physiological sensations that our body holds for us get to dissolve because we've used action to value our worth. Brandy says, yes, and whatever you confirm, you receive. Either what you want or what you don't want. Those are the only two things that you get. So the hard truth here is that If health is what do you want, and you saying, I want what I want and I'm going to get it. If you can say yes to what you want every single time, the hang up is that it sounds selfish, but it's alignment. If God and Spirit put those alignments, those desires in our heart, it should be in our nature to go for it. And when it feels happy, and it feels fun, and you're doing yoga instead of strength training because that's what was calling you, and you feel peace and ease, which now you can carry into your family and feel your family experience more peace and ease, which inspires you to want to cook more, which means you're going to feed your body better, which means now your body has more energy, and you're going to put yourself online a little bit more. And now that you're online a little bit more, you're more willing to travel and make more money and find other avenues, and it ends up spilling over because the more you take care of yourself through fun, you go seek more fun. This is health. That just upped my social health, my financial health, my occupational health. All of these areas of my life elevated just because I found fun, joy, light, easement in my yoga practice. It's calling me. Maybe you know you want to run. Maybe you want to eat keto. Maybe you don't want to eat keto. Maybe you want, what do you want? The answer to that question is your health. When you know what you want and you let what you want be enough for today, knowing that your life is not over until you get to where you're going, every step you choose along the line of what you want will get you there. But where we make health unhealthy is we do things we're supposed to do. We do things that everyone else is doing. We look at someone else's world and we say, hey, that's working for them. I guess I'm supposed to do that. Hey, they lost 30 pounds that way. I guess I'm supposed to do that. Hey, I read an article that said yoga doesn't help you lose weight. I guess I'm not supposed to do that. What do you want? What do you want? Because your body's healthiest state is in your joy. Your body's healthiest state is in your joy. It's in your smile. It's in your laughter. It's in your rest. It's in your peace. It's you waking up when you want to, if you don't have kids. It's when you can put your business schedule, on your desired schedule. It's when you can set boundaries and say, hey, I don't hang out at these bars anymore. I like to do coffee dates instead. It's when you say, hey, I'm not interested in men like this. I actually prefer men like this. It's when you desire what you want and you claim it. That's when you're healthy. Because you're operating in the realm of your identity, and your presence carries that. Brandy says, yes, selfish gets to be refined. Oh my God, redefined. Yep, the January bikini body. Everybody could have the January bikini body, but most people, the way they try to get it, it is not healthy. It is pressure, it is stressful. And guys, if I were to break you down the physiology of what happens when we are just stressed for 5 minutes too long, most of us are chilling in that stress for 5, 10, 15 years too long. It's your resting in your identity. It's why I had to talk to you first about identity. You cannot have health the way you can have it without your identity. And my clients who were functioning in health without their identity, expecting it to change their presence, they were on a hamster wheel, chasing, forcing, pushing, hoping, feeling the loss, feeling the pain, because there was nothing to sit their effort on. So Lindy says, if you don't have kids, I have to say that because I don't have kids. And sometimes I say things that are very privileged, a very privileged thing to say because I know kids take up some time. But yes, so St. Tanja said, I've been chilling in my stress for the longest. Yes, same. For too long. Again, hear my heart, guys. This is easier said than done. Hear my heart on that. I recognize this is a process. This is why we have our communities. This is why we're having continual conversations. It's why I'm opening up coaching containers, master classes, because we've got to get this stuff through our head. Most people are not functioning in this arena. It's too easy. But that's what's scary is your best self, your most successful self, your wealthiest self feels easy. And if it feels hard, not challenged, but hard, you're doing something that's not you. That's not healthy. Health is your alignment to what you want. I am concentrating on reducing stress and anxiety right now. It's affected my physical health. So literally, my mental health needs work so I can physically heal. That's the piece. So, Lindy, most people will probably tell you, here's a physical fitness plan. Do that. It's going to work. And you're going to do it with the same mind that got you to wherever you are right now. And it's going to feel like, it's going to feel pressure. You're going to feel pain in your joints. You're going to feel anxiousness, anxiety. You're going to sleep poorly. It's going to feel bad to do the thing that you were told to do, when deep down inside, you might just want to walk every day. Building the foundation of your body's endurance, having conversations with yourself and God, allowing yourself to just be outside and find your joy and roam through your flowers and just feel yourself live for a second. When you get to that place of like, boop, your mind opens up and you're a little bit mentally healthier, you're like, maybe I can take on just a little of that strength training that they were talking about because I'm ready to hold the capacity, or I want to increase the capacity that I can carry in life. Now that I know how I can make myself happy, feel safe, feel liked, feel loved, I can now take on the stress and the strain of what strength training is meant to teach me, which is how to increase my ability to carry more in my life. But if I can barely carry me now, why would I choose something that's asking me to carry more? This is what we do in health. Every style of exercise has a lesson that it's meant to teach us. And this is something we're going to be talking about in our upcoming masterclass this month. I'm really excited to share that with you. Every style of exercise, every aspect of food has a lesson in it that teaches you, and it's an avenue to help build your character. So there's a parallel in everything, in yoga and running and strength training and core training and glute training, everything. There's a parallel spiritual higher person lesson. And we're going to talk about that to look at where is it that you can improve your character in your life through fitness, through nutrition and health. Good, Sammy Joe. Thank you, Brandy. All my kids are grown and I have a problem with disconnecting. So this is a difficult thing to experience. You know, St. Tanja, I would liken it to a professional athlete who grew up from the time they were a kid all the way to the professional league, even just through college. And they identified with this role of being this athlete. You know, they were fed all the time. They were spoiled. They were admired. They had a set amount of roles and responsibilities, and they were given money for the things that they did. And then maybe they injure themselves or their season is just over. They're done. A lot of those people have a hard time transitioning out of that lifestyle and deciding who they are without all of that. And I see this commonly with mothers where it's like, my kids are grown, like, who am I? This is a very common thing in the mother space. So I just want to encourage you that it's very normal. It's very normal to feel like, wait, is it still there? Are you guys still there? Like, are you guys, this is where our moms start coming in and they're like, honey, there was an accident two cities over from you. Are you okay? And it's like, Mom, I'm okay. I'm just sitting on the couch at home, right? It's hard to break that identity. And so it's all of like what Brandy was saying, we've got to redefine these things for ourselves. And this is where seasons and recognizing we have ever-changing seasons in our life. So who you were before you were a mother, who you were as a mother, and who you are after you were taking care of your children type of mother. It's going to be different, and we have to be willing to recognize we got to choose what's next for us. It's an evolving process. It's such an inner game. Yes, yes, yes. Oh my God. All right. So ladies, let me finish out with one more conversation I really want to speak to before we go. The main theme I want to have as we step into health is first, what you want is the healthiest thing you can do for yourself. Okay? What you want is the healthiest thing you can do for yourself. No one technically can tell you what's the best thing for you. And this is where we get with people when we're like, just tell me something. And they're like, what do you want? Or sometimes boyfriends or people we're dating or husbands are like, where do you want to eat? And it's like, just pick something. And they're like, no, what do you want? I want you to be happy. What do you want? If we have an issue with exploring what it is that we want, I really want to invite you guys back to your worlds. And if you don't have a world yet, come to the 3 days of world building where we're going to build your world and define it. Whatever your answer is there, that's going to be a really good indicator for where you can start, right? So when you have that, you know, okay, there are things in this world that I want. There's a person I want to be. There are things that I want to do, places I want to see, opportunities I want to be involved in. Like there's so many. You did, yes. I can't wait to hear she completed her world today. Oh my God. So with that, like there's things that you want and there are things that you want to do and see. So we want to honor that. We have to let you be that person. We have to let you go have a great life while you're here, right? So in that, we want to make sure you're amplified at the best capacity. And so tomorrow or next week, we're going to talk about how your body relates to you. But the number one thing I want you to walk away with, ladies, is the idea that your body is your friend. Ladies, your body is your friend. And when I mean friend, it's that ride or die, loyal type of, I'll do whatever you say we're going to do, even if it doesn't want to go in a direction. It is so loyal, it will hurt for you. Okay? So I want you to think about you as the captain on a ship. Gung ho, we're going this way. Is it hi ho? I don't know. We're just going that way. Ho, tally ho. There we go. We're on a ship, and you're the captain. We're going somewhere. And your body's like, where are we going to go? Where are we going to go? Some seasons in your life, you might be like, I'm going to Worry Town. And your body's like, are you sure you want to go there? Because I think when you were a kid, you really wanted to go to Dreamland. Like, don't you want to go to Dreamland? You're like, nope. I'm going to go to Worry Town. I saw something that really worried me and I want to go dig into that a little bit deeper. And it's like, okay. You might say, hey, we're going to go to excitement, or we're going to go to stress and anxiety, or we're going to go to rest and peace. Rest and peace. Rest and peace. That sounded very bad. We're going to rest and peace. Wow. There's a bunch of destinations that you have accessible to you. And what I want you to recognize is that what you focus on, where you want to go, how you want to spend your mental time, what kind of capacity you want to live your life in, your body will follow. It is your sergeant on the ship. It's the one that commands all of the machinery and tells it what it needs to do. When you go to Worry Town and you've got a lot of thoughts about worrisome things, and you're trying to problem solve it in your mind, and you're trying to figure it out, and you have the best intention in the world, and you really want to get out of it, your body's going to keep up with you about that. It's going to produce the feeling of worry for you so you can feel it enough to think it through, but it won't stop doing that until you decide to go somewhere else. Now, what happens in Worry Town for your body is that in order to function there, it's got to produce chemicals. It's got to produce a certain state. It's got to rev up your heart rate for worry. It's got to release a lot of extra cortisol and adrenaline. It's got to do all of these mechanisms in order to produce this sensation in your body. And when it does that, you feel it. You're like, yep, I'm worried. No freaking A, I'm worried. I feel it. When we are in a worrisome state, when we're in that stress state, unfortunately, the way the body works is it can only do a few things at the same time. When stress goes up, digestion, weight loss, peace, all of those things go down. It's like a light switch. Stress is on, peace is off. And so in that, we have to respect that it's not just our body being wrong necessarily. It's like Lindy said, we've got some mind stuff that we might want to work on in order to help support our body to move into a different space. And this is a big, big workup. So what I like to do in this case is I like to recognize that what I experience in my body is probably something I've diagnosed. It may have not been intentionally. It may have come from a trauma. It may have come from I tried something and I failed, or someone scared me into something and now this is what I'm worried about. It doesn't matter why you're there. What matters is that you're there. And your angle, and the 80% of what helps you in your health is to begin to shift your mindset so that your body can follow you into a new place. So I want you to hear what I'm saying, because what I'm saying is huge. It's huge in the regard that the work is big. It's a lot. But it's also huge in the fact that if you look down and you don't like what you see, if in the mirror you wish you saw something else, if on your blood panel or all of these other places that you could get feedback on what your body is telling you, if you could find peace in recognizing there are things I can do in my life that will help give my body a different cue, it's going to be the first place to put you in a place of power to shift things for yourself. Your identity is what's going to produce motivation and consistency. Your body and the health that you desire is going to give you the direction that you want to go in. So if you have motivation and consistency and a clear direction on where you want to start first, you are going to be amplified in what it is that you get to do. So in this regard, ladies, the idea is your body is your friend. Your body will hurt with you. It will hurt for you. It will also bring you great experiences. It'll remind you of, hi ho, hi ho. Off to work we go. Exactly. It's like, bye, Brandy. It's one of those things. Like it is so loyal. One thing I like to say is, I learned in my master's degree, like the coolest thing. The body is so loyal. It's kind of to a fault. Like when we get diabetes, people will experience vision loss or blindness, and we just walk through the pathway of how diabetes affects the physiology and how it deteriorates our body if it gets too far. And the way that blood sugar works is that diabetes keeps our blood or sugar from going out of our blood and into our muscles. And this creates a problem because when sugar is in the blood, water follows sugar. And so when we end up having a lot of sugar in our blood, we don't end up having water in our muscles because the sugar didn't go there and the water follows the sugar into the muscles, and then we have nice, strong, supple muscles. And so with the sugar staying in our bloodstream, what happens is that our body constantly thinks it's thirsty. This is why thirst is a really big issue for people with diabetes and neuropathy, and all of the somatic symptoms they experience happens with the nerves because the sugar's just floating around, just damaging all things. And what I found out is why the vision blindness occurs is because, surprisingly, our eyes Our eyes, if you were to actually take your eyeball out and squish it, it's a very mucousy organ. It's a very mucousy ball. It's got a lot of water in it. Our body is so desperate to get water to where it needs to go. It's so desperate to keep you alive, to keep you safe, that it would rather extract fluids from the very fluid-filled eye to try to bring it to your muscles, that it's willing to risk vision loss because it's not deadly. For us, no vision is very, very inconvenient. That changes our entire lifestyle. We have to become dependent on other people. We've got to do all kinds of things. It's crazy. Hi! We've got to do all kinds of things to keep ourselves in a place of functionality in the world. But that's how loyal our body is to keeping us in a happy and healthy place. So I want you to hear that story, because your body, the way you see it, the way you experience it, the way it's designed right now, it is mostly, not fully, it's mostly a product of the lifestyle we've lived and the thoughts that we think. Okay? So with that, when our minds think, our bodies listen. And this is where I want you to remember that as you're exploring all of this, because like I said, it's a lot to explore. As you're exploring all of this, at the end of the day, your body is your friend. So what I want to hear from you guys next, we're almost done. I'm going to read something that I wrote. The physiology responds to you, and we get to create magic when we take ownership and are willing to learn the lessons that come along with that process. When we're willing to learn the process, that is what's going to allow us to shift our physiology. We are the leaders, our bodies follow. And as we step into this month of health, I want you to look at health not as an obligation, not as something you have to do, this thing you've got to cross off because the American Heart Association said I need to train 3 to 5 days a week. No, they got those numbers because they studied how the body works to see what causes a positive effect. We want to step you into the healthiest version of yourself, not out of obligation, but because of identity. Because you want to lose the weight. Because you want to get stronger, you want to feel more energy, you want to feel happier, you want to have more capacity to think more clearly, you want more for yourself. What do you want? When we can align your health with your identity, your presence is going to expand. This is a very, very powerful benefit for us as leaders, because when our presence is big, we get to enter into that second pillar, where we're visible, and that's the step before we ultimately create the best impact. So ladies, this is health, and we're gonna continue talking about this throughout the month. So I wanna have a strong context here about when you hear me say health, what do I mean? And if you have any questions or goals, I would love to hear your goals inside of our Facebook group, as well as what part of your life do you feel like health can improve in? What area of your life feels like an area that you can improve your health in? It might be your food, it might be your rest, it might be walking more, it might be, more self-control. What in your life do you feel like you want to see transform inside of your health? I want to hear these as declarations, and I would love to support you as we talk about this more. Ladies, at the end of the month, maybe a little bit deeper into February, I'm going to be opening up my coaching program where I talk about everything fitness. I have fitness plans in there for you guys to get you from the ground up. Wherever it is that you're going, I like to spend some time building foundation in your fitness. I also have a program coming back around called The Walk for those of you guys who know that you want to keep it simple and have a low barrier to commitment. So The Walk is a 90-day walking program where you walk every single day and just have those conversations with yourself, like the example I shared with Lindy. And And then if you know that health is where you want to go, but you're like, I don't have a strong identity to rest my health on. I don't think I have what she's saying. I hear it, but I don't know it. Then I would love to invite you guys into the 3 days of world building. We're going to be hosting this event. Last time we hosted it here inside of the Facebook group, but this time we're going to be hosting it in a separate Facebook group. And we're going to use that space to run you through the process. You're going to get to leave with your world fully developed, and you'll know what I'm talking about when you get in. It's something very difficult to explain, but when you run through it, you're like, everyone who's run through this process has come out completely transformed. And I just saw a woman in person this weekend who did the things with us, and she was like, Sammy, I have never seen myself this way. After 40 years, I've never seen myself this way. The way I walk around is different. The way I see my life, it's just different. And I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. So if you guys want to come explore what we're talking about, it's a free masterclass. All you have to do is just shoot me a DM and I'll give you the link to the Facebook group. If you've already done it and you want to do it again, come join us. You can't hear it enough. You can't hear it enough. So I'd love for you guys to join there. And ladies, other than that, this is where we're at. We're in the health sector. So I look forward to seeing you guys amplify your identity. Guys, we've entered 2024. So I'm hopeful for you and your goals and the things you're wanting to achieve. And I cannot wait to see. You're welcome. I can't wait to see what is next for you, because what you do matters. So I love you guys. I love you, Santanja. Thank you guys. All right, ladies. Well, signing out. Hi ho, and I'll see you guys next week. I love you. Bye.